Oh, you're supposed
If
to
doggy
make it
gets here,
cold?
we're gonna put this down here. We're gonna.
The samurai you
on
drink
wine.
cold sake.
We're gonna make the dog very, very happy. He won't. Why is the dog so friendly now?
Give the dog its own little sake cup.
You could kill her.
I forgot what it was, but like I was watching this weird show that talked about alcohol tolerance, and they were checking out all these different animals, and apparently like hamsters, for body weight, have like the most ridiculous alcohol tolerance.
Really?
Yeah, like if a hamster was a human size, they could take like, I don't know, something absolutely ridiculous. They could finish a keg by themselves, be like, "You're wasted, lightweight." Just, I don't know.
Sounds
why.
like a webzine in the
No,
making.
it was, I think it was like the most extreme on Animal Planet.
And so they got animals drunk
No,
to
they didn't-
find
they
which
didn't
ones they had to.
Well, yeah.
How else would you do it?
In lab tests, they
Experiments
give
with the blood.
them, yeah, they did the lab tests, and they give them like based on their calculated.
The guys I hung around with, where they would just get the dogs drunk, the cats drunk, anything that was around drunk. The goldfish, they would pour alcohol with
In the
fish,
bowl.
In the bowl.
That's
Oh, yeah,
supposed
that'll
to kill
work.
them, isn't it?
Yeah, they killed them, but they were happy for a little while.
Yeah, like ooh,
But they used to give the dogs drugs.
so drunk he's floating upside
There
down.
are monkeys that get drunk on purpose.
Oh yeah, well,
They wait for the fruit.
The drunken monkey.
the drunken monkey. That's where that came from. You know the story about the drunken monkey, right?
I don't know.
Do you know the story about the drunken monkey? The story, I mean, it's supposed to be true. Stories are always great.
Yeah.
But there was a man that already had some, and I'm not going to tell this exactly right, because you get it told from different people and read it from different places. But he went to jail, and he had martial art experience. So he was in jail for a little while, and his jail had a window. This is somewhere, I guess, in China. And outside there was monkeys. And some wino comes by, and he falls asleep under the tree, and he's drinking a little bit of his wine, but he gets up and he leaves his wine there. And there was this little monkey that was always getting picked on by all the other monkeys. He was the smallest, least dominant monkey. But he apparently got into this wine that this guy left, and he beat up all the other monkeys. He just went, and the monkeys didn't know what was going on. They didn't understand. He'd go crazy, he'd do all this stuff, and they'd try to beat him up, and he became the most dominant monkey, even though he was the smallest monkey. So he did like flips on his head, he did really crazy stuff, and he beat up the other monkeys, the most alpha monkey there.
Oh, so he became the alpha monkey.
He
and then
became
in
the alpha
morning he
monkey
couldn't
after
remember
drinking the
anything.
wine. From drinking the wine, and that's what. So the guy that was in the cell having some martial art experience, so it wasn't like from the temple. It was wherever like after the temple was disbanded and whatnot. Learned and developed this style from watching these monkeys straight, and then watching the monkey that was drunk, and he developed in his cell this drunken monkey, which is actually a very good fighting system.
Is that a true story?
Yes, it's supposed to be a true story, So that's how the story has been told, and there you have the drunken monkey, So where he flips on his head, he does these things. And when I was young in the arts, like when you were making fun of that yell, that was, like you were doing that boom where it comes with the chi. That was also from a story that started with me. But there was a time.
Just don't do it.
I won't do it. It would be too loud. When there was a phase that I would take these different stories and try to take the stories and see what the stories were saying and try to apply them to combat. So there was a part with the Drunken Monkey where I started to do a philosophy of the idea of the drunken monkey. Well, when you're drunk, or when a person's drunk, they're very kind of hard to hurt, because they really don't care. So I developed what I called a fool's attitude. So I would fight like a fool, and I developed this fighting style that was really kind of like very loose from the monkey system, and I would fight, and I would be fighting these guys, and you would just move in on them, but there would be like a fool doesn't care, a drunk doesn't care. So you really had to, have that whole attitude become part of your nature when you're out there, and it was very effective, because you just didn't care about getting hit, you didn't care about winning, you didn't care about losing, you just didn't care about anything, and to incorporate that whole attitude into the fighting style was really quite unique. did that and you fought this way and you just moved kind of like this drunken monkey, you became very relaxed. You just were moving quicker, but you hit with a lot of power, and that's really where the drunken monkey came from. And you would have these really abstract movements, not retarded movements, you know, very drunk movements. I think there was a movie just out now where Jackie Chan did a really good impression of that.
Oh yeah, it's called The Forgotten Kingdom.
Right.
Forbidden Kingdom.
Forbidden Kingdom. Where he was a immortal. He was one of the immortals, and he used to always drink. So he fought very drunk. Well, it's exactly the same style. And what made him so effective was that he had a very carefree, very loose style. So he was just he didn't become brittle. And this is also like where the Tai Chi comes from as well. You know, you don't want to become brittle. You want to have all the motions and movements becoming more soft, but not flowery. You know, not like what they do in the movies where they're doing all this stuff, and you know, it was just very kind of loose and moving, and it was really cool. But it really developed, supposedly, which I'm sure there's some real truth to it from this guy looking from his jail cell, watching this little monkey beat up all the other monkeys after drinking this guy's bottle of wine. Pretty cool, huh? Drunken monkey.
So what are you drinking there?
This year, I'm not a drunken monkey yet. It takes an awful lot.
Yeah.
To the drunken monkey.
To the monkey.
Drunken monkey.
I want one. What is that?